Hello everyone, welcome back to another cottage renovation video. Now today I'm up on the scaffold. We've got some slipped tiles that I've got to replace. Yeah, the little clips, as mentioned in a previous video, rust on them, and I'll just show you what I mean here. So these are the ones that I've replaced, the clips, new galvanised ones, and these are the rusty ones. They deteriorate over time before the slate does normally, and then the slate just slips. That's what holds them up in place. So we've got an area up there to do. It's all over really. It's quite a fragile roof. I might get this winter out of it. Well, I'll have to get this winter out of it, I'll rephrase that. So we're just going to make this a little bit more watertight. The barn this year I plan to store, amongst other things, my wood for the year, for the winter, coming winter. So I've got some plastic storage sacks that I'm going to fill up with the wood that I use. It's right next to my cottage, so it just means we haven't got to go too far traipsing around all over the place going to the wood stores. Previously my wood store was next to the greenhouse, but I don't know if you can see the sheeting material that I used. I've used it in the past and it's been okay, but sometimes, you know, things are not what they used to be, and it's collapsed and it's letting in water, so I can no longer use what used to be the old pig barn. So we're going to have to think again. So if I was in a different position financially, I'd probably have this replaced with peg tiles like that, clay peg tiles instead of the slate, but it's going to be used as a storage barn, so we're going to go with something like either a box profile sheet metal material, or something that's got the pattern of tiles in it, so at a glance it does look like it matches in. But as with a lot of these old properties, there's lots of different materials used in them over the years. So I'm going to get my ladders set up, get my harness on so I'm nice and safe on there. Not quite sure, never been on this roof as such, so fingers crossed it's going to hold me. But before I'll get up on the roof with the ladders, I will go inside and check all the timbers, make sure there's no snapped ones since I last looked. Now when it comes to this little dormer here, these can cause quite a lot of problems with leaks. What I may do when I come to readdress this area is maybe do away with the dormer, extend the bottom row of tiles across so that's closed in, and what that will leave is a small window above the door. Now I've seen that on quite a few properties recently and it doesn't look too bad at all, but we'll see. It is a nice feature, but they do come with issues. Now it may be when I get up there that I can't access the clips. Sometimes the tiles don't move, and if you do, sometimes they snap and you end up to replace one, you do 3 or 4. So just to get me out of trouble, I may take the mastic up with me. Got some roofing mastic that I can stick the slates back in place with. So let's just head on inside up into the cottage, and then I can see through the hole in the wall into the roof section there, make sure those timbers are okay. So let's have a look. There's a little bit of rock there. I think it should hold my weight. I did extend the purlin from inside the cottage through just to pick up on a few extra rafters. Got my harness, going to need that. Let's get my ladders in position. Fairly confident it should be okay. Fingers crossed. Thanks Mum. My mum bought me this. Keep me phone in when I'm at places where I haven't always got two hands free. So yeah, pop my camera in there. That way I've got two hands as I go up. Cheers Mum. And Dad for the drill. So we've got our ladder up, first section. And what I like to do is put something like that across, maybe that way. Just to hold it. Some screws in there, we'll get it tied off as well. It just helps to defer the weight onto the scaffold and not onto the roof. I've stuck a screw in there as well, so it's picking up all these boards there, and we're fixed in there. And what we'll do next is undo that strap around the ladder, so I'm nicely held in. That way I can safely get up there. Reach those slip tiles. Now I may need the additional ladder with the hook, but for now I'm just going to do everything I can reach from here. Now put the strap through the ladder. Nice and secure. It's worth taking the time just to be safe. Talking of safety, it's time. I've got the harness on. It can be a little bit restrictive, I won't lie. And when you're on the scaffold you have to be equally as careful that you don't get sort of latched on any of these projections with the loop as you're climbing down or moving about. So just take your time. It's not like we've got a storm predicted. We have. And I can hear it rumbling, but hey, I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to get done as much as I can safely. I know that this section is virtually watertight anyway, so the area I need to store the logs and the wood will be okay. It's just when I start putting in more wood, I need it all nice and dry for the winter. I do hate a leaky roof. Plagued with them at the minute. Before I get the harness on, let's get some slate, some crotchets, my silicone gun up there. Try and keep a bit of space so I can move about as well. And just before I go on there, I'll put the harness on. Now this harness you either get right first time. I've pretty much got the hang of this. Remember the first time I put one of these on? Boy, I couldn't work it out. There it goes. Ready to go. See you up there. So when it comes to reaching that side, I'll have to move the scaffold over, reposition the ladders, but it looks like we've got a downpour coming, so I'm not going to bother doing that at the moment. The silicone won't stick on the mastic. Now I'm under no illusion that these are going to last forever. They will certainly last me throughout the winter. It will keep our firewood dry and they won't slip down and hit us on the head. Although this area below here is a no-go zone. I found when I can't get a clip in, just get another tile underneath, wedge it in, and it kind of really locks it in nice and tight. The slate pretty much is finished, just disintegrating. That's why I don't really want to be on there too much. Don't want to break more than what I'm actually changing, but we're doing okay. We've got all this, we've probably got at least a quarter of it watertight now, so that's a win-win for me. Well, that's as far as I can safely reach from that section without dropping the scaffold and moving over. Let's try that soup. That's better. She does make some nice soup. Right, looks like we've got some rain. I'll get the stuff off the scaffold and try something else. I think what I'll do next, I've just picked up my chainsaw, set a full service. Haven't started it up yet. I want to see how it performs, make sure that's up and ready so I can chop up loads of logs. Yeah, it's probably best I'll take it, cut it around the front. Once I've finished with the scaffold around the front, I shall come back round here, deal with the slipped and broken tiles here and get pointing again. Also got to move all these big logs. They're well seasoned now. Grade that, get those chopped up and get them start drying for the winter. As anyone with a small holding will tell you that it's no good waiting until the winter. You have to be really a season ahead to be prepared. I'm only playing at it. I don't fully rely on being off-grid. I do try to do it as much as I can, and that takes up quite a lot of time, so hat off to all you folks that are fully off-grid. It takes a lot of dedication and work, but it's worth it. Something very satisfying about being self-sufficient, I think, especially nowadays. Right, let's get set up here. Just had a service. It was well over €100. They couldn't even put any oil in for me. Never mind, I've got some. Well, that cut for it, no problem whatsoever. It'll help dry the wood out as well. Cutting it in smaller sections, probably split it with an axe. Let's see how it splits with the axe. That can tell you a lot. Now also a good sign, if your chainsaw is working correctly, big chippings. Now if it's dusty, that means it's not cutting it properly. You may need to sharpen your blade. Yep, that's not a bad size. Probably do them a bit bigger. You do need different sizes. That should smell lovely. Pear wood. So now I know that the chainsaw is fine, fully serviced, ready to go. We shan't be getting cold this winter. Okay, that is it for this video. Don't forget, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.